Right, today taking a look at my main man Daniel's video game, new text adventure rather, called the Acreage. And while you're looking at that, you can find it all at adventurebymail.itch.io, where he also has his RPGs by mail for the low of $4, $3, maybe even the free. And you can also find the link to the Acreage classic text-based adventure meets Disco Elysium. So let's read the backstory on that one. Okay, when Desmond hired you, it seemed like a simple transport job. All you had to do was get him and his cargo to a monastery on the other side of the acreage, somewhere in the Leo constellation. It sounded almost mundane. Then you met the cargo. He calls himself Isaac, a meager yet dominating presence with no eyes and a horde of cables running from beneath his skull. You don't know who or what he is, but he speaks as though he knows everything, as though he knows you. After fleeing authorities in Pisces, you've crash landed in the city of Bluèl. You will need to find a way off planet so you can close the contract and put this nightmare far behind you. You soon discover, however, that both the city and Isaac have other plans. Explore the city of Bluèl and meet those who call it both home and captor. Discover secrets and multiple endings inspired by Disco Elysium in early text adventure games. And this is the link. Let's go ahead and play this bad boy right now. With some lo-fi cyberpunk beats on it too. Alright, the Acreage. Where is Satan not? Tell me. I would invent him if he did not exist, and he would emerge one evening from my silence. Sabat, Helen Picard. Press any key. Where's the any key? Where's my tab? I ordered a tab 5 minutes ago. Alright, how to play. Okay, this is crucial. The save feature is crucial because I sunk about 4 hours into this months ago and did not realize about the save feature. Alright, so how to play. Move around by entering abbreviated compass points. Enter W to go west, southeast to go southeast. I'm writing everything down this time. Examine or interact with objects in capital letters with look. Okay. Examine or interact with objects in capital letters with look. Enter look at lamp or X lamp to examine a lamp or switch it on. Okay, X lamp. Look at lamp. Note to Daniel. Why isn't it? Okay, I guess you did do capital. But look at lamp is in capital. But okay. But lamp is what you're looking at. That's capital. Okay, pick up objects in capital letters with take. Enter take book to pick up a book. Do not use take all. Pick up objects. View your inventory by entering I. Interact with NPCs with talk. Enter talk to clerk to ask the clerk the questions or buy items. See available exits by entering look. Enter map to pull up a map of the different places you've been. Enter save to save your game. Okay, save. Enter tips to see this message again. The writer and game designer can be reached at dctozieer@gmail.com. Press any key to begin. Part 1. Old Beginnings. You dream again of drowning. On countless nights, you found yourself here, gasping in the star-flooded acreage as your chest seals with glacial, soundless dark. Only now this familiar terror boasts a new ornament. Beneath you, the visual spins, its hole sliced open like the belly of a captured salmon. A breach alarm screams suddenly across the void, and you are sure you are about to die. It's Desmond whistling that. It's Desmond's whistling that finally pulls you back into the waking world. It's cold here too. A not entirely unpleasant blend of stale and burning tobacco waits for you as you open your eyes. The room you find yourself in is defined by filth and monastic efficiency. A single brass flame lamp illuminates the foulness of your situation with arrhythmic orange light. Mildewed blankets cover the twin beds, both of which are held together by overlapping strips of thick red industrial tape. The floor, walls, and ceiling are enduring entropy, each in their own unique way. Water stains pool above you, beneath your feet. Several rugs hide multicolored stains in the green carpet. The wallpaper is failing at its edges, peeling away in large swatches to reveal the synthetic wood walls beneath. The room also features a window, though it's so filthy you would be better off guessing about the world beyond. Last night's motel room was identical in its dilapidation. Despite being located far across the acreage, somewhere in the Pisces constellation, as you observe your surroundings, familiar voices stir within your own architecture. Okay, so we'll look at the lamp, or examine the lamp. X lamp. Whoa. I guess I just kind of... No. Okay, X lamp. Okay, the lamp is brass, but its luster has long been hidden by rust and stains. A small flame sits at the top between four small ornamental wings. The lamp itself is bolted down. A synapse. The lamp is connected to a gas line that snakes downward to the city's infrastructure. X beds. Two small beds, barely large enough for a grown adult. On one bed, Isaac sleeps. A small bundle of gray rags rises and falls with a familiar rhythm. Sinew, breathing of one in a deep sleep that we've known in months. Then, in a deeper sleep than we've known in months. Animus Isaac. Okay, window. Examine window. Okay, the sun has not yet touched the horizon, making it difficult to see the streets below. Through the dust and dirt, you can only make out two parallel lines of flickering flame lamps. Alright, synapse. Based on the wallpaper pattern, Cancerian Art Deco passe, the last time this motel saw renovations was the 2980s. Animus. Why would the manager bother with renovations? His customers tend to have more pursuance than options. This includes us. Synapse. And the door doesn't even lock properly. Animus. Why is it we barely slept last night? So, Synapse and Animus, are they two voices within the same guy? I don't know. A ship passes over the building low enough to rattle the walls. Isaac is sleeping soundly in one of those beds beneath a small bundle of blankets, his face hidden, for which you are grateful. Desmond sits at a desk, using his teeth to tear bandages from a spool. A cigarette burns in an ashtray at his elbow. Sinew, fracture of his fifth metacarpal, likely from punching that Tremont peace officer during yesterday's urgent exit. You're finally up. I need you to give Isaac his treatment, Desmond says. Okay, Desmond. knows Isaac more. We got animus, synapse, and sinew. You're finally up. I need you to give Isaac his treatment, Desmond says, not bothering to look up. Can't work that syringe with my hand like this. It's in the bathroom. Okay. Bathroom is to the west, a motel lobby to the east. Okay, let's look at Isaac. All you see is a small figure breathing beneath a bundle of filthy blankets. Ex-Desmond. Desmond first found you at a speakeasy on a planet owned by the Church of the Holy Duality. He asked if you were looking for work, and now you're in this mess. He's an older man with short brown hair going gray and blue eyes surrounded with wrinkles. His mask suggests he was once muscular, a fighter, but time has stolen much of that back. Sinew, ex-military, would explain his build. Animus, he's committed something else now, something more than a king or a flag. Isaac, he's never without a weapon and usually not sober, a combination that makes you nervous. He's wearing thick green pants and a shirt of the same color beneath a black wool cloak that reaches his ankles. Okay. Alright, let's look at the desk. The ancient table is made of some kind of synthetic wool composite with metallic legs. Scratches decorate just about every square inch of surface. Alright, so let's go to west and let's go to east. How do we do that? Let's just go west. Okay, motel bathroom is west. So I'm gonna say number one in the, where are we at right now? We're in the ship or we're on the ground? Okay, let's say ship. West is bathroom. Okay, hotel. We're in the hotel. West is the motel bathroom. Okay, you enter the dark bathroom and turn the knob mounted on the wall. Gas hisses momentarily behind the white tiles before a flint clicks and ignites the small flame of a sconce to illuminate the cramped space. The bathroom exceeds the motel room in its state of disrepair. A small rectangular mirror hangs above the sink. The bathroom is stained with what you hope is rust. The toilet was clearly unusable. It was clearly usable at some point, judging from the contents. But the thought of making physical contact with it rises bile in your throat. Sinew, we're only able to keep last night's dinner down because it was so meager. There is an empty vial in the sink. Enter liquid vial to examine it. Okay, what if I go X vial? Isaac's treatment, hold it in a glass syringe. Held in a glass syringe sits on the sink. Enter take syringe to pick up the syringe and add it to your inventory. Enter I to see what you're currently carrying. Alright, so let's start by looking at the mirror. Okay, you look at your reflection, staring at you from behind water stains and haphazardly carved initials and runes. Your eyes are unfamiliar, held up by dark bags from weeks of sleepless nights. You try to remember why you took this job. It seems so simple at first. Runes. You look in to examine the runes running down the length of the mirror. These symbols are often found in public places carved by followers of the goddess of lost light. Though many across the acreage follow her, this constellation is home to her most devoted followers. Synapse, utter nonsense. These particular runes appear to be a series of protective spells. Sinew, you don't need them. Your hands are fast. Synapse, and your gun is loaded. And Animus can't hurt though, can it? Pause in a second. Alright. Okay, so we got some kind of god worship with magical spells going on. Alright, so we're gonna take the look at the vial. So look at vial. The vial is made of thick glass with a rubber top. A star with the shut eye at the center is on the label beneath words you can't read. Okay, take syringe. Okay, you look at the syringe sitting on the edge of the sink and your stomach turns. Desmond has been injecting Isaac with thick sludge every week or so. There may have been a time when you would have questioned this, but you no longer have that luxury. When your father died, he left you a loaded pistol and a 5-figure gambling debt. Desmond's not paying much, but closing the contract will buy you a few weeks of safety. As you reach for the syringe, another ship passes overhead, twice the size of the first one, if the turbulence is any indication. You watch as the syringe tumbles off the sink and onto the floor where it shatters. Sinew, that wasn't my fault. Desmond's voice booms from the other room to break the deafening silence. Was that the treatment? The bathroom door slams open and Desmond's eyes fall to the shattered glass on the floor. He turns around and walks back into the room without looking at you. Motel room east. Okay, we went west. Let's go to the east. Okay, motel room. You find yourself in a room defined by filth and monastic efficiency. A small brass lamp. I think we read this already. There's a window. So much filth. Desmond's glare meets you. That was the last of his treatment. Desmond says sharply. His anger barely contained. Animus, he wants to hit you. Sinew, let him try. A lover's kiss and screw on battlefields of his youth. We could easily take this old man. Isaac cannot miss a dose. Not now. Desmond says, running his hands through his short, graying hair. We'll need to synthesize more here. I need a compound called Acreage. Head into town and find more. Start with starports and clinics. This city is ancient. They should have some in storage somewhere. Synapse. The starport is too new. You won't find any there. We saw a clinic on the way here, though. Right, so we go to the lobby. Hotel lobby. Flame lamps illuminate the dark. Empty motel lobby in a wash of unsteady orange. A puddle spreading out from the corner of the room's cement floor emerges from a pipe running the length of the wall and across the ceiling. A poster hangs on the wall by the front door. You remember stumbling into the lobby late last night? Adrenaline still simmering in your veins. The Tremont ships had followed you into orbit. Despite Desmond's assurances that their onboard computers had been fully breached, the first blast from their beam shot cannons was a direct hit. By the time they fired a second shot, the Vigil had vanished into folded space, leaving their beams of violent white to carry on harmlessly into the acreage. As soon as you had some distance, you killed the fold engine and limped toward the nearest populated planet, Bluèl. Okay, we're in the lobby. lobby. North Civic Resource District. West, a motel room. Go north. Okay, Southern Lane Civic Resource District. And you walk alone through the empty pre-dawn streets of Bluèl. Flame lamps line the pathways before you, dousing the walls in wet pavement with dancing light of burnt orange. Frigid winds swirl with the scent of wet stone and smoke. And above the motel, smokestacks of varying heights gently parcel out clouds of white, a stark contrast against the black firmament. And you're surrounded by the windows and doors of buildings no more than 3 or 4 stories high. They're each built of different material, but all are painted some shade of blue or gray. Small apartments make up much of the higher levels. Occasional ships rise slowly above the skyline, lifting like icebergs before vanishing upward into sweeping black clouds. A clinic and grocery store are nearby. A short flight of stairs leads to a pawn shop. Between 2 buildings, you can see a small tent. Firelight flickers from within. A row of vendor stalls bisects the street. Alright, so we'll examine motel, apartments. We'll just press any key. Okay, clinic, grocery store, pawn shop, stalls, tent. Let's just write it all down. APT apartments. We know the motel, ships, clinic, grocery store, pawn shop, tent, stalls. Alright, Synapse. This is the southern lane of Bluèl's Civic Resource District, a sorry collective of shops designed to meet the most basic demands of factory employees. Nearly all of them closed at this hour. Many appear to have been closed for decades. Animus. There are no trees here or plants, not even a wayward weed. You pull your coat around you, but the cold wind finds its way through regardless. Northern Lane, CR District North. Grocery store northwest. Where are we right now? We're in the Civic District, Civic Resource District. So from there, north is Northern Lane. CR District. Northwest, grocery store, west, pawn shop, east, clinic, southeast, tent, and motel south. Alright, so we'll start by going north. You know what? We'll just start by going to the clinic east. Okay, exit locked. A heavy chain loops through the door handles of the health clinic, keeping you from entering. The large padlock further tells you to screw off. A repetitive gust of cold wind scattered debris beneath the 2 windows that look out onto the gray street. Though they are covered in dust in both sides of the glass, you can make out a sign hanging in the window. Chain. Both the padlocked The padlock and chain are covered in layers of dust. They both have been on guard for perhaps a decade, but no less solid than the day they were enlisted. Sinew, let's take a run at the padlock. We can tear it clean off the door. Synapse, it's an alloy made from Libran bronze. It will outlast the entire city. Sinew, unfortunate. We'll need to find another way in. Examine the sign. Thank you for your patience as we complete necessary upgrades so that we can better serve all gas technin employees and citizens. Synapse. Not that you need me to tell you this, but those upgrades are never coming. A small newer sign has been posted beneath it. For questions about the delivery of your mood boosting or stimulant pills, call Dr. Lasper's office at 89534. Write that down. Let's write that down just in case. $89,534. Okay, let's check what's in my inventory. You're carrying licenses, your pistol, a printed photograph, a watch, and cash. Let's examine the cash. A bundle of dirty bills, each one about the size of a playing card. A number in the top left corner indicates their value. Text at the center reads legal tender of the gathered constellations. Cool. Alright, so let's go. We hit the clinic, so let's hit the pawn shop. Exit locked. The pawn shop isn't open at this hour. The windows are coated with a thin layer of gray. It's hard to see any of the products inside. We'll have to come back later. Go to the tent. I don't understand your command. Southeast Sears tent. The temporary structure has been carefully constructed. A telescopic poles extending from its center to brace against the surrounding stone walls. The glowing violet sheets in a welcome halo of color and light to the mournful graves before you. You push the tent flap open and enter, taking a seat on the small stool. The seer sits opposite you at a low round table beneath the dark violet drapes rising to enclose you. Her eyes are occluded by two black lenses of her perfectly round glasses. A cluster of candles emit smoky notes of various spice. Though she is sitting, you can tell she is extraordinarily tall by the way her knees and elbows bend outward at angles unknown to the stout. Okay. Animus. This woman knows what's beyond the veil. She has loved to see it herself and found her way back through the halls of dark fire. I can't hear it. Synapse, I can't hear any more of this. Sinew, she must be over 8 feet tall. Can you imagine the reach of her left hook? It would find your jaw in the fold. Animus, she's not a fighter though. She's found peace in this desolate place. Don't ask me how. She smiles at you. The table between you is adorned with the deck of cards and several mismatched candles, a burning cacophony of tangerine light. Her hands run over the protective runes carved into the table in intersecting circular patterns. They are similar to the ones you saw in the motel room bathroom mirror. Alright, let's X the seer, even though we know she's tall. The woman is clothed in tightly wrapped layers of various fabrics, all dyed in a deep indigo color. It's difficult to see through her dark glasses, but you know she's looking deep into your eyes. She's looking deeper than that. At my underwear. Alright, X candles. They're orange. The candles gather at the center of the table in varying shapes, colors, and scents. They're all flickering brightly as they release smoky notes of lilac, pepper, and cinnamon, every scent fighting for your attention. X the cards. Tarot. The cards depict figures from mythology posed beneath different constellations. The art is ancient and the colors faded, but this hardly diminishes the beauty of the artwork. Animus. Seeing the heroes and villains from your childhood offers memories you quickly reject. Was there a command to talk to? Talk to Seer. Okay, talk to Seer about, man. Make sure I remember that command. Talk to. Yeah, talk to is a big thing, maybe. All right, talk to Seer. Talk to Seer about, tell me about myself. What can you see of Isaac? Tell me about Desmond. It doesn't quite work that way, she says. I'm afraid I need to see the individual in order to see their realities. Same thing. It doesn't quite work that way. Tell me about myself. She picks up the deck and gives it 3 shuffles. The motion becomes a blur in her hands. She sets the deck down before you and divides it into 3 even stacks. She flips over the center card. The azure eyes of Odysseus looks up at you from the table. He is fearless at the helm of a ship. A deep longing for home resides in you, she muses. But if you ever were to return home, you would not recognize it. It would not recognize you. She quickly shuffles the deck and resets the piles. Alright, guess that's all you can tell me right now. Alright, so where do we go? Alright, so we messed around in the tent. Now where do we go? We go to Northern Lane District. We go to, okay, we did the grocery store. We did the pawn shop, did the clinic. Let's try the grocery store. Okay, grocery store entrance. You stand beneath the concrete cover. The grocery store appears to be closed with thick metal grates covering the entrance in each of the windows. The flame lamps meant to light this space appear to be out of order. In a corner is a large pile of newspapers that may have at one point been used as a bed. There's a sign posted to the front door. Newspaper pages have been bundled and piled in the corner as a makeshift bed. It's too dark to make out any of the headlines or anything else for that matter. X sign. The sign lets visitors know that the store will not open until sunrise and that they are out of eggs, white fish, and all fruit. Okay, we hit the motel, we hit the tent, we hit the clinic, the pawn shop, the grocery store. Let's go north. You can't go there. Why not? Why the crap not? Northwest, pawn shops, clinic, tent. Alright, let's go back to the motel, I guess. North, northwest, west, east, tent. I mean, did I miss something at the tent? Okay, maybe northwest was where we were supposed to go. Okay, you walk alone through the empty pre-dawn streets of Bluèl. Flame lamps line the pathways before you, dousing the walls and wet pavement with dancing light of burnt orange. I think I read this one already. Clinic in the grocery store, stalls, a room of vendor stalls. A row of vendor stalls cut through the center of the district's southern lane. A few are topped with banners, though they are tattered and their colors weary. There are no vendors to be seen this early in the day. The stalls' shutters are all locked securely to protect their inventory. Ships. Massive starships fall from the sky as others rise from behind the Bluèl skyline to replace them. A flare of uncontained fire bursts from their thrusters, echoing across the clouded sky as outbound vessels arc upward into orbit and beyond. You pause to observe their slow, unceasing waltz. Every motion translates into vibrations that rattle the cement path beneath your boots. Synapse. These ships transported the city's one and only export, a synthetic gas, amalgam, used for shipbuilding and other mega construction projects. Okay, let's check out the apartments. Rows of housing units top the district structures, each with an identical front door and perfectly square windows, frosted with cold. A few of them flicker with orange light. A woman in a heavy coat stands on her balcony smoking a cigarette. She looks down into the streets between drags, but her eyes unfocused with exhaustion, take in little of the scene. The cigarette falls from her hand, followed by a trail of sparks, a small comet of refuse. She returns to the warmth of her apartment. Okay, we hit the grocery store, we hit the clinic, we can't get in there. We hit the pawn shop, then we tent, stalls, motel. Man, let's make sure we hit the clinic. Clinic is... Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything with the inventory. Licenses, pistol, printed photograph, watch, cash. Clinic is east. Let's go east. Exit locked, the heavy chain, yeah, a sign. Alright, so let's go back to the hotel. Flame lamps illuminate the dark, empty hotel lobby in a wash of unsteady orange. The smell of dust and wet stone greets you. A poster hangs on the wall. Let's see the poster. The poster is a jarring smear of color in this otherwise muted world. It's also the only new looking thing you've seen since landing. It must have been hung up recently. The design features a figure standing in blue overalls and matching hard hat, holding a wrench up towards the sky. A family, presumably their own, gathers around to shower them with silent praise. The text reads, "I promise to all Bluèl citizens, a purpose for you, a life for your family. Room and board, free healthcare, abundant food, only with gas technin." Take the poster. You can't take it. Okay, let's look at the cat. The cat is sleeping soundly, but the breathing is mechanical and staccato. Pet cat. The sleeping cat doesn't respond to your touch. Take the cat. You can't take the cat. Okay, let's try north. You walk alone through the empty pre-dawn streets of Bluèl. Flame lamps light the pathway. Motel, apartment, ships, grocery store, pawn shop. Okay, going south, back to the motel. go west. Motel room. No, let's go north. Okay, takes me back to that menu. We go south. We go to the motel room. You find yourself in a room defined by filth and monastic efficiencies, a single brass lamp. Okay, what about we take the lamp? Can't take it. X beds. Isaac sleeps. Take Isaac. Talk to Desmond. We don't have time to talk. Go into town and find a size. How can I find a size when nothing is letting me find a size? Alright, talk to Isaac. I mean, he's in a deep sleep. Best not to wake him now. Okay, back to the bathroom. The bathroom exceeds the motel room in its state of disrepair. A small rectangular mirror. Okay, vial. Take the vial. Look at vial. The vial is made of thick glass with a rubber top, a star with the shut eye at the center of the label beneath words you can't read. Take the vial. You slip the empty vial into your coat pocket. Mounted to the wall with several large screws. Sorry, that isn't going anywhere. Alright, we've done all we can do at the bathroom. Motel room. Back to the lobby. Okay, let's take the poster. I think I already tried to do that, but maybe not. You can't take it. Examine the poster. Let's go back north. It just gives me that menu. Egg ships. Man, let's see if we can just go to clinic. But this chain is too strong to break. We'll need to find another way in. Sign. Thank you for your patience as we complete necessary upgrades. Gas taken, but those upgrades will never come in. Okay, so for sure we tried the clinic. Let's try the pawn shop again. Exit locked. Try the clinic and try the pawn shop. We just keep going to the motel. Tried the clinic, tried the pawn shop. We tried the grocery store. We tried the tent. And I don't know where to go. west. Yeah, man. I know I got further than this last time I played, but I'm kinda at a loss right now. Northern lane, maybe? Okay, northern lane. North. Okay, you make your way through the dark into the northern lane of the central district. Flame lamps glow in long flickering rows. Though the port is some distance away, you can hear the roar of ships as they flee the cold. You look up to see the pulsing glows of green and red of their anti-collision lights refracting throughout the black clouds. The steel tracks of light rail station cut across the district's lane. Beyond, you see a long paved road that leads to the port where your ship is waiting. There's a bar nearby, its opaque windows lit with flickering amber light. An office stands out with its bright white exterior um, amongst the monochromatic world. Okay, so we needed to go north. I was neglecting to go north. Northern lane. Okay, port is north. Okay, port. Bar is west. Office building east. Southern lane south. Synapse. What's that to the southeast? A gap between two buildings just big enough for you to fit through. Alright, sounds like they're leading us towards the south, but that leaves us with 3 other joints to check out, so south. Okay, you walk alone through the empty pre-dawn streets of Bluèl. Flame lamps line the pathways before you, dousing the walls and wet pavement with dancing light of burnt orange. Frigid winds swirl with the scent of wet stone and smoke above the motel smokestacks. I think I read this one already. I sure did. Okay, motel, apartments, ships, clinic, grocery store, pawn shop. Okay, let's go back north. Let's go to the port north. There's no point in walking all the way to the ship now. Let's go to the west. As you approach the bar, you're surprised to hear a cheerful commotion coming from within. Despite the early hour, it's the most noise you've heard since landing. Orange light glows from a singular opaque window that stretches around the building's perimeter. A sign hangs above the front door, featuring a finely painted eagle with a burning torch held in its beak. Beneath the painting, the name of the bar, Notre Few. You push the heavy door and enter Notre Few. No one but the bartender seems to notice your presence. He knows everyone on Bluèl, and he does not know you. Immediately, he sets down the glass he was filling, resting his massive hands on his hips. The patron, I mean, we're talking about bar. I gotta bring up the patron. The patron looks at his halfway empty pint, dejected, but takes it and walks away silently. Animus. The barman's freeing up his hands in case he needs them, in case you do something stupid. Sinew, he's not worth the fight. Let him think you won't cause any trouble. You raise both hands as a sign of peace. With a nod, the bartender gives you permission to enter his domain. Press any key. We don't need to examine the bartender, but we will. Can't see that. Press any key. Just about every table at the bar is full, and the entire space hums with countless conversations. Though a few patrons sip hot tea from clear mugs, most of the patrons hold loosely to glasses of beer and whiskey. The bartender moves gracefully despite his size between customers. taps and bottles of various spirits. A gas line hiccups and flame lamp burst with the flare of red and orange. A wave of heat riptides through the bar, sending the whole crowd into a wild bout of cheers. Kitchen's west. Let's go west. Exit locked. Through the window in the kitchen door, you can see a woman furiously working over a stove. There's no reason to draw attention to yourself. You remain in the bar. Talk to bartender. Talk to bartender about one beer, please. Who's the woman cooking back there? People start drinking early here, don't they? Let's go to. He glances over at the kitchen. Julia, I don't know. She doesn't work for me. Gas technician pays her to try to sober up the workers before they start their shift. Best fried rice I've ever had, though. One beer, please. This is a company bar. They won't take your cash, only drink tokens. Talk to bartender about. People start drinking early here, don't they? He takes in the collective of workers filling up his bar. Some drink merrily, others through grimmer expressions, but all are more than a stone's throw away from sober. Most of these are third shifters. They just got off, he says, cleaning a glass and adding it to the row of the others. You should be here when second shift shows up. Those ones know how to drink. 2, how long have you worked here? I was born here, he says, a bit annoyed at the interruption. I don't mean on Bluèl either. I mean in this bar. The owner found me in the bathroom. My mother was one of his more committed patrons. But after I was born, she was never seen again. Never had much need for her. The city more or less raised me. Animus, no bravado here. He really means it. One beer, please. This is a company bar. They won't take your cash. Only drink tokens. Exit. You end the conversation and turn your attention elsewhere. Okay. Man, let's try to go to the kitchen again for no reason. Yeah, I really wish that the I think I said this before, but I really wish that the direction lines were purple instead of green. But I guess they are a darker green, but I can't hardly tell though. They're slightly darker green. Let's go to east. Port north. They said don't go to the port. Station. Office. Or office east. Let's see station. The light rail station sits towards the northern end of the district, empty and inert except for 2 torches on either side of the entrance, flickering in the wind. It's clean and recently swept. A bright blue banner draped above the low brick walls and plastic branches reads "Don't be late." The posted table lists departure times and ticket fees. You take a moment to rest. The tracks beside you reach out towards the horizon in long, cold parallels. Next table. Gas Technin refinery train schedule. Departure time 6 a.m. $18, 6 p.m. $24, midnight $25. Don't be late, please. Let's go east. Exit locked. The building's front door is securely locked. It's empty. This employee still soundly sleeping. Through the crystal clear windows, you see clean chairs and wooden desks. Okay, they don't want me to go to port. I went to the bar. Office building is locked. South. Let's just type office, see what happens. I don't understand your command. Can't go east to the office because it's locked. We already hit the bar. We can't go to port. Go back south. Man, let's hit the bar one more time just to be safe. Northern lane east. 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 Alright, flame lamps glow in long flickering rows in the northern lane of the district. Station, bar, office. Synapse. What's that to the southeast? The gap between two buildings is big enough for you to fit through. Though it's not an option, let's try southeast. Okay, alleyway. Okay, sometimes it's not an option on the dark green. Okay, alleyway. You find a gap between the buildings, barely wide enough to accommodate your flame. Your coat pulls blue plaster off the walls as you slip through. The narrow space appears to be funneling all the wind of Bluèl into singular contained roar. Holding your hands in front of your eyes, you can still see that it's cleaner than you would expect an alleyway to be. There are no newspaper pages or other trash particles waiting to be caught in the wind whipping through. A wall of brick easily 9 feet tall rises on one side where it meets a hill of dirt that continues its ascent. A row of shacks have been constructed against the brick wall. You pass them on your way to the backside of the abandoned clinic. Bluèl Civil Resource District, northwest. Or clinic exam room. We're definitely going south. We got a northwest. Okay, from the alleyway. Bluèl. CRD is northwest, and clinic exam room. South. Okay, the hinges of the door creak as you enter the clinic. The building is small, consisting of only an exam room, where you stand now, and a lobby. The exam room has been converted into a living room, complete with a sofa, record player, a bass guitar is leaning up against the corner. The door that leads to the lobby is missing, replaced by a flag draped over the flame. If you're going to find the assize that Desmond demands, it will be somewhere around here. You spend some time digging through the shelves and cupboards, but find only torn packaging and empty boxes. Dust is clinging to the back of your throat, but you're empty-handed. Okay, we got the alleyway going back north, clinic lobby to the west. Let's examine the sofa. While visibly not new, the sofa is in decent condition. It's velvet. What is this? Velvet? Of some reproduction in dark blue. A red blanket is draped across the top. Record player. An old but reliable model with the advantage of being fully analog. No electricity required. A record pressed chartreuse sits beneath the needle, waiting to sing again. Bass. A red bass guitar leans against the exam room wall. It's an antique, and the strings are easily a few years old. The paint is worn where the forearm would rest while playing. It's plugged into a small amplifier with the solar panel plugged into the back. Animus. So this place is not entirely devoid of life. X flag. A flag hangs in the doorway as an impromptu door. It's faded red with a series of orange concentric circles at the center. Synapse. The flag is ancient. It's unlikely this government is still around anymore. Okay, let's go. Clinic lobby. Clinic lobby. You push the flag out of the way as you enter the lobby. It's clean and free of dust, with the notable exception of the filthy windows. Years of dust have been left uncleaned, blocking the view of any curious passerby. Synapse, someone lives here. Animus in secret. There are two empty sleeping bags in the corner of the room, side by side on a wide rubber mat. Several sketches have been pinned to the walls using large construction nails. There's a metal crate next to the bed being used as an impromptu nightstand for several unlit candles and a large yellow rotary phone. There's a blue book amongst the clutter. You go to Southern Lane or Clinic Exam Room East. Sleeping bags. Two sleeping bags, one red and one blue, lay side by side beneath several thick blankets. Whoever sleeps in the red one has made an effort to tidy up their space. The same cannot be said of the blue, twisted beneath a swirl of tangled blankets. Nevertheless, they both look clean and comfortable. You're so tired. Enemy suggests for 5 minutes. You resist the inviting scene. Charcoal and stray pieces of paper form these drawings. One depicts the district streets you only just walked down. Another features a woman with an annoyed grin standing behind a glass counter, reflecting her figure. The same woman is in the third drawing, reclining in a large ornate bed, nude. Synapse incredible depictions of life on this planet. The expert shading and clean lines boast a skilled creator. Animus, the artist, is in love, terribly so. Crate, phone, and book. I think the thing is in the book, but we'll hit the book first. The title of the book is engraved into its cover in fading gold letters, a language you don't even recognize. The pages are worn and the spine is weakened. Whoever owns this book has read it 100 times. This language isn't common to Bluèl or even this constellation. It's from far away. It's from someone's house. You open the book and find a handwritten message on the title page, looping symbols in the blue ink. It's the same language as the rest of the book. Great. Whoever has been living here is using this relic as an impromptu nightstand. It's made of metal and was at one point painted green, but most of that has chipped off in recent centuries. What do? Open the crate. You move the objects off the crate and force the latches open. There's a silver canister inside. It's ancient, but intact. Take the doggone canister. You pick up the canister. Okay, now we got phone, X phone. A thick black cable runs from the wall to a yellow rotary phone, a heavy and almost brutalist design. What do you want to do? Call Dr. Lasper's number? Put the phone down. We're going to call Dr. Lasper's number. You punch in the number from the sign hanging in the clinic's front door. An automatic voice comes on. Hello, Bluèl citizen. The joy of our workers is our most pressing concern. If you've missed the delivery of your mood boosting or stimulant pills, press 1. To increase the dose of your next delivery, press 2. To decrease the dose, you hang up the phone and return to the task at hand. Excuse me. X canister. The canister is only a foot or so tall and made of bright clean metal. There's a logo stamped on the side, a star with a shut eye at the center. This is probably what Desmond is looking for. You remove the vial from your pocket. It has the same logo you see on the canister. Synapse. This is absolutely. This is definitely a size. The fluid was used before fold engines were first produced. It kept primitive astronauts from aging during their century-long travels. We're not sure what why Desmond needs this for Isaac. Take it and let's go. Yeah, let me write down these time markers. Alright, 1 hour, 6 minutes. 1 hour, 5 minutes. What, why? Typos. Alright, cool. Alright, so we can go back. We can hit up the freaking southern lane. Southern lane. 1 hour, 6 minutes. Southern lane. We thoroughly looked at the exam room. Let's make sure. The clinic is small, consisting of only an exam room, a record player base. Alright, let's go to the freaking alleyway. Let's go back to the alleyway. Let's go to the clinic lobby. West. Then let's go to Southern Lane, west. Exit locked, okay, so we gotta go back to the clinic exam room. Then we have to go to the alleyway again. What was in the lobby? I don't know. We're not gonna worry about it. Alright, Civic District. Yeah, Northwest. Let's go to the south. Let's go back to the motel room. Okay, you find yourself in a room defined by filth monastic. Desmond stands as you walk through the door. Finally, he says, taking the canister and the leather satchel into the bathroom. You sit and listen to him work. The gray light of dawn emerges against the foggy window as the people of Bluèl tense to face east to face another day. Rise nevertheless throughout the city. Flames ignite under the kettles and pans. Showers burst forth with water as hot as the sun. Feet find boots and hands find gloves. Isaac sits up and pulls his tunic away from his small face to reveal two mechanical lenses where his eyes should be, each one polished to avoid, as has become your habit. You try not to look at his thin parchment-colored skin or the cables running from the back of his shorn head. He is either an ancient man or an extremely ill child. You never bother to ask. Sinew. It's difficult to tell if he's even human. A synapse, technically speaking, he is an animus. He's something else now entirely. Isaac speaks suddenly, his lips not moving. The voice comes electronically from beneath his tunic. You are a worthy light upon a dark path. Trust in me, and your faith in my works will be a crown upon your head. You are about to respond in plain language to remind him that this is nothing more than a contract job when Desmond emerges with a new syringe of violet and quickly pierces Isaac's skin. Fluid swirls in the syringe before vanishing into his flesh. Isaac does not respond to the intrusion, his eyes remaining on you. Let's go, Desmond says. We still need to find a repair kit for your ship. I'm not trusting it to survive another trip through the fold in its current state, and we need to be searched by the end of the day. Bathroom to the west, motel lobby east. Bathroom, it looks like we've already examined that thoroughly. Let's go to the east. Okay, the manager, a boulder of a man, sits in a small chair behind a small desk where a small yellow ledger is open. Ledger 110. Ledger. Lit by a flame lamp built into the desk. His pen floats across the pages like a figure skater. He is wearing an almost white collared shirt with a small blue pocket square sticking out. Sinew, what a specimen he is, absolutely strapping. He stops to pet the gray striped cat, now awake. You watch as he feeds the animal from his hand, although upon closer inspection the cat's jaws seem to only open and close above an empty palm. A silver spray of sparks ignites at the corner of his jaw. He looks up at you and redirects his attention as you walk in. Hello, Stirs, he said. How's your stay? We'll be checking out now, Desmond says, as he places a few cash notes onto the table. The manager consults his ledger, dragging his large finger down the rows, seemingly satisfied. He takes the cash and makes a note. Well, all right then, he says. You enjoy the rest of your time here. I mean, do you spell ledger like that? Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ledger. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, Civil Resource District north, motel room west. Let's go north. Okay, Southern Lane Civic Resource District. The sun has begun to rise, but a thick cover of gray clouds keeps most of the light from reaching the district streets. The flame lamps lining the path still flicker with their dark orange smokestacks. Flames. The motel sits in the shadow of taller buildings and an array of smokestacks. The apartments above the district have poured their inhabitants out into the into the lane. You stand amongst the blue and gray buildings and smoke of various fires burning rich, damp wood above the unreadable network of wires and black pipes. Hauler ships continue tracing their paths and from the acreage above. To and from the acreage above. A clinic and grocery store are nearby. A short flight of stairs leads to a pawn shop. Between two buildings you can see a small tent of firelight still flickers from within. A vendor stands by her stall, holding out various trinkets for sale. Desmond wanders towards the tent and attempting to peer through the flaps. Isaac turns quickly toward you and speaks again. I need you to find sleep in chemical form. We will need it later. Okay. Synapse, not a size. He's asking for sleeping pills, perhaps. Animus, yes, but not for him. Some kind of seer's tent, I think Desmond says as he returns. Isaac's gaze floats across the crowd. Alright, let's start with the tent. Southeast. Seer's tent. The seer sits opposite you at a low round table beneath the dark violet drapes rising to enclose you. Her eyes occluded by two black lenses of perfectly round glasses. A cluster of candles emit smoky notes of various spice. Though she is sitting, you can tell she is extraordinarily tall by the way her knees and elbows bend outward, unknown to the stealth. She smiles at you. The table between you is adorned with a deck of cards with several mismatched candles. Read that already. Her hands run over the protective runes carved into the table, intersecting circular patterns. They're similar to the ones you saw in the bathroom mirror. We already talked to you, don't need to talk to you again, so let's go back. Okay, grocery store. Kanye's daughter. Alright, you make your way through the streets towards the towards the single story building. Light blue with the cornucopia of food painted above the entrance. The grocery store is now open. You can see a flame lamps inside, flickering above shelves of cans and colorful boxes. A long line has formed at its entrance beneath a concrete arch. There's no point in waiting to enter, and you fear that trying to cut would end in public execution. In a corner are newspapers that may have at one point been used as a bed. There's a sign posted to the front door. Okay, I guess the only thing we can do is go southeast. Okay, pawn shop. Okay, you walk up to the steps to the locked front door of the pawn shop, where you find a girl at the counter. The clerk staring at you. She sighs before finally buzzing you in. Talk to me if there's anything you want to buy. We don't take tokens, only cash, she says as she returns to the ledger open before her. You walk in to find several parallels of flame lamps illuminating the shop's crowded shelves with dancing light. The air is musty and smells of time. Every inch of the walls are covered in shelves of various mechanical instruments. A few articles of fine clothing hang on the walls, but the dust gathering on their shoulder pads speaks to the lack of demand. A few weapons lay inert beneath the glass counter. A security camera in the corner of the shop sweeps silently from left to right. The store's clerk, a bored young woman, sits behind a long counter of glass. A gun sits cocked just to the counter to the right of her hand. A synapse. Look, there beneath the glass, a repair kit for sale. Hard to tell from here, but it should be functional. Talk to clerk. 5 by repair kit. Just a repair kit then, she says, lifting it from beneath the counter. We actually are running a special sale. You can pay part of the cost with food. I mean, it's a good deal for you. You explain that you don't have any food on you at the moment, but you can pay the full cost with cash. She watches as Isaac inserts a few bills into the machine on the side of the counter. The repair kit hits the counter with a thud, threatening to shatter the glass. You take it and sling it over your shoulder. Animus, she would much rather have had the food. Sinew, her body is hungry. I can feel it from here. To the clerk, talk to the clerk about, do you sell sleeping pills? What's on the shelf is all we have, she says without looking up from her ledger. Animus, she's lying, but she doesn't trust you enough to sell you contraband. Yeah, you do look like you're not getting enough sleep, Desmond says. You ignore him and continue your conversation with the clerk. What kind of shop is this? It's a pawn shop. You can pawn stuff or buy stuff that other customers have pawned. It's not very complicated. Synapse, she's not wrong. That's basically the gist of it. Talk to the clerk about how do you like living here? It's a crap hole, but it's my home. She smiles, a wide fake smile that quickly vanishes. Animus, wow, she really freaking hates this place. 3, what's the story of the sun? Her 120, her. Her eyes remain on you, her hand on the gun. It doesn't shoot blanks. That's all you need to know, really, she says. Alright. Done talking to your crotchety self. Alright, exit. Go back east is all we can do. No, we got the instruments. Instruments, clothing, weapons, camera. Heater parts, new flame lamps, wrenches. Most of the items for sale here will be used to repair housing or keep essential machines in decent working order. Instruments, weapons. Pistols and rifles from various eras and constellations sit beneath the glass counter. Most of them are perfectly functional. Clothing, camera. The clothes hanging appear to be from a different era or perhaps a different planet altogether. You haven't seen anyone wearing anything similar since you landed. They've been hanging here for perhaps a decade now. X camera. The glass eye looks down on you before returning to its sweeping motion. Let's check out the repair kit again. A red backpack that contains an array of tools sufficient for minor repairs on a variety of machines. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I really don't like that dark green. I would much rather like a purple, but I guess it's better than nothing. Okay, let's go to east. Okay, we picked up a repair kit. Now we gotta go to... We hit the grocery store, we hit the pawn shop, we hit the clinic, we hit the tent, we hit the motel. Let's go to the north. Okay, the crowd begins to thin as you enter the northern end of the civil resource district. Here, too, are the flame lamps you've become accustomed to burning in the cold wind. The tracks of the light rail station cut across the district's lane. Beyond the tracks, you see a long paved road that leads to the port where your ship is waiting. You can still hear the crowd inside the bar. The windows of an office building glow with bright, clean light. There's a protester on the street corner yelling slogans to an uncaring river of workers. A few workers are igniting near the entrance of the bar. The light rail train stops to collect a crowd of workers, all in blue overalls, before charging towards the long day's work. Through the windows of the office building, you see two individuals arguing, one with serious intensity, the other one with a massive smile. Isaac holds his tunic tightly around himself. Desmond's eyes float towards the bar. Maybe I'll grab a beer before takeoff, Desmond says. Your vices will not slow us down, Isaac says. Time is at my heels. Desmond appears dejected, but continues following you. Okay, let's examine the station. The light rail sits towards the northern end of the district, empty and inert except for two torches on either side of the entrance flickering in the wind. It's clean and recently swept. A bright blue banner draped... Okay, we read this before. Station, office, protester. The sign hanging over the front door tells you that this is the Bluèl branch of the Gas Technin Constellation Enterprises. Unlike the other buildings, this one is pristine and painted white like a desert sun. The two wide windows on either side of the main entrance are polished to a point of near invisibility. The dissonance is almost comical. It's as though the structure was pried off the streets of a capital city and dropped from the sky into the CR district of Bluèl. Ex protester. I can't see that. Protester. The man protesting on the street sports a set of faded blue overalls, a size too small. A curled pile of pink papers are being crushed in his right hand. He is perhaps in his late 30s, with the sheared head of what was once bright red hair. He is chanting various anti factory slogans, but to the passing crowd, he's invisible and silent. Fight back today! Fight back today! Fight back today! His voice is loud, but the inflection of his words is flat. Animus. His shouting is purely performative at this hour. It is too early to be truly angry. 127. Truly. I think I gotta take a bathroom break, but we're gonna go to port right fast and see if we can go ahead and repair the ship and leave. Alright, looks like we can. Alright, I'm taking a bathroom break. Be right back. And I'm back. Made it to the station. Jam the tunes. Alright, Bluèl and Gas Technin Acreage Port. It's only a 20-minute walk to your ship, but the frigid air seems to slow both time and molecules alike. Finally, you arrive at the port, passing through the enormous open concrete gates. Your face is numb and fingertips burn with cold. Overall clad workers scatter and regroup throughout the port's expansive space, jumping over cables and fuel lines. The small exhaust and varying burning gases cling immediately to your throat. You see your ship, the Vigil, dwarfed by enormous tanker crafts parked on either side. The spotlights of arriving and departing ships sweep the port, illuminating the scene with white light and shifting shadows. Takes the Vigil. The Vigil is a medium-sized passenger craft painted olive green with accents and serial numbers in bright yellow. Long windows, several inches thick, run down the sides from the ground. You can see in the cockpit pulsing with various instrument lights. It's an older model, but one built to last. Synapse. It's an A-class machine built by the Corver Corporation in 3022. The internal systems are well maintained, and pirate software offers agility unmatched by most ships this size. It's illegal and unsafe to have a fold engine on a craft this small, but it wasn't hard to find someone willing to do it off the record. Alright, the Vigil East, Northern Lane, Civil Resource District South. Alright, going any key. Alright, even in the anemic light of dawn, you can see that your struggle with the Tremont Peacekeepers has caused far more damage than you initially thought. It's a miracle it didn't implode the second the fold engines kicked on. Desmond lets out a low series of curses. Animus. This was a close call, even by our standards. Synapse. If they had expected a craft this small to have its own fold engine, they would have started with missiles. Look what they did to your ship, Desmond says, running his rough hand. Letting his Running his rough hands run over the damage as though reading something written in the warped metal. Running his rough hands run over 130. Right. Any key. Isaac pushes his hood off onto his shoulders. The gears behind his lenses whisper mechanically. My words are never light. Strike first when I call you to do so. Meet the moment without hesitation. Sinew. Who is he to tell us what to do? Synapse. The damage speaks for itself, doesn't it? The inner hull is nearing its breaking point. A repair kit will not suffice. You'll need to find an engineer for this, Desmond says. We probably got to go back to the northern lane, but let's go to the visual first. Exit locked. The ship isn't going anywhere in its current condition. You'll need to find some way to get it repaired. Alright. Synapse, this is why we wanted you to find those sleeping pills to drug Desmond's beer. The pawn shop might be a good place to start. It's not going to be on a shelf, but that clerk might be willing to help. Southern Lane. Pawn shop. Several parallels in flames. The store clerk is bored young woman. Talk to clerk. Clerk, add an extra A. Sell sleeping pills. What's on the shelf is all we have, she says without looking up from a ledger. Animus, she's lying, but she doesn't trust you enough to sell you contraband. The gun again. It doesn't shoot blanks, that's all you need to know, really, she says. Bother about the sleeping pills again. Exit. Go east. Okay, let's go back in the tent or talk to Isaac. Talk to Isaac. Why is it so important we go to Surst? I see on Surst a field of weeds planted in rich soil. I see a garden crying for new light. Who is Desmond to you? A wilting flower, strength demanded of him by time, faith demanded of him by vices. What of you? Are you still strong? Do you have faith? Why do you speak like this in verse? I am Yoda. I have come to speak of things too heavy for the gauntly diction of common men. Try to understand. So, to Desmond. He's not around. Vendor. Talk to vendor. Tell me about the dice. Ah, yes, the old woman says enthusiastically, these dice are sure to bring you luck no matter your game. I traded for them 2 years ago when a retired casino dealer came through trying to make some extra money. Got a good deal and I'll pass that good deal on to you. The flowers look nice. A roll of flowers sway in the cold wind. Violet roses sit next to a crowded pot of blue orchids. Animus, don't be fooled. These are plastic, an unworthy imitation of the real thing. The old woman follows your gaze towards the flowers. These beautiful flowers will not only brighten up your apartment, they'll brighten up your life. Don't you want a brighter life? 3. You're selling toys. Towards the back, there's a red stuffed bear and some sort of sheep-like animal with 3 horns. I know these are meant for children, the vendor says, but I'd like to think that the child within each of us can be awoken with something as simple as a stuffed Sagittarian lamb. Or perhaps you could buy one for your son. Here, he looks very sick. 136. You, son. Isaac's eyes find a way of expressing hatred despite their mechanical constructs. 136. Talk to a vendor about 4. Apartment, motel, ships, clinic, vendor tent stall, pawn shop, grocery store. Let's try the grocery store in Northwest. The grocery store is now open. You can see the flames, the newspaper, the sign. Southeast. Trying to get this jerk to sell me the sleeping pills, but she doesn't want to. Let's go to East. East exit is locked. Sign on the window. Okay, what's in my inventory? Licenses, pistol, printed photograph, a watch, cash, a vial, and a repair kit. Okay, I gotta get some food to get that clerk to sell me the sleeping pills. So where do I get the food? You would think the grocery store, but alright, let's go back to the tent, see if anything changed over there. Shop clinic. Did I already do the clinic? I think I did. But let's try it again. Exit locked. Okay, let's go to the motel. Talk to Isaac. Talk to manager. A motel you have here. Yes, did you enjoy your stay? Me and my twin brother, Nimi, are the proud proprietors. You may have actually met him last night when you checked in. Handsome fellow, he says, laughing at his own joke. Is that your pet cat? No, it isn't my pet, he says, looking at it. I found it in a dumpster. I had planned on fixing it and selling it at the pawn shop, but the wires are rusty and most of the pistons have cracked. Talk to the manager about examine the poster again. already. Motel room, that's not gonna help me. Okay, good. North. The sun is risen. Clinic, grocery store, pawn shop, vendor. Clinic, I can't go to the clinic. Exit locked. The alley was southeast or southwest or Northern Lane, grocery store, we tried that. Pawn shop, tried that. Clinic, tried that. Tent, tried that. Motel, tried that. Let's go back north. Talk to protester. Ask about the protest. He stops his chanting to answer your question. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious, right? We're protesting Bluèl. I mean, mostly gas technin, but also Bluèl. They barely give us any food tokens, even though we work real hard. Just take a look at this flyer. I mean, it explains everything. He pushes a flyer into your hand. Enter I to check your inventory. You can type look at flyer. Black ink printed on thin paper, now smearing and difficult to read. It's a poor product. The layout lacks any sense of hierarchical design, and the designer has opted to use several fonts of varying weights. The copy reads, boycott Gas Technin and Bluèl also. They treat us bad. They make us mad. Demand more food tokens today. Synapse. This is not particularly effective piece of messaging. 143, 142. 142. Not A particularly. Someone should tell him. Talk to the protester about this isn't a very good flyer. I know, he says. He's discouraged. No one has ever told him this so plainly. Me and my partner used to have better stuff, but all of his amazing flyers, like all of the designs and stuff, were stolen from his apartment. The thieves didn't take any of his food or drink tokens though, which is weird, right? Or do you think it was a rival resistance group? I mean, anyways, I guess he didn't want to get robbed again because he disappeared right after. I mean, it's a real shame. We were actually starting to make real progress organizing people. I can't believe he left when we were so close. He shakes his head and returns to his one-man protest. Fight them today. Fight them today. Make sure I had a flyer. A flyer. Port North, Bar West. Bar West, office building east. Alleyway southeast. What was in the office building? A few old men are playing some sort of dice game in front of a shack that was clearly once a shipping unit. Cash bills are piled. Man, let me make sure office building isn't where I'm supposed to be. A few rows of shacks. Let's examine shacks. You're somewhat surprised to discover another level of poverty on this planet, but here it is. The shacks appear to be made of reclaimed construction materials. The gas company's logo is stamped across most of the metal sheeting that makes up the walls. Animus, this is the closest to freedom anyone will find on Bluèl. Sinew, we commend them. Only the strongest are willing to live like this to be free. Examine men. A man in a thick red sweater is holding the dice in his loosed fist, saying, "Well, let's see. I dreamt last night of 4 hares chased by 6 wolves. I'm putting it all on 10. With a determined toss, the dice tumble across the cement, landing next to the pile of cash. 4 black pips look up from one of the dice and 6 from the other. The man cheers and begins snatching up his winnings. Synapse. The odds are 1 out of 36, a mere coincidence. The others boo and hiss in the dice theatrically. At the dice. 146 at. Jacob, you and damn dreams, says the one to his left. The seer taught him how to do that. You know what that, John? It's BS. The one named John simply laughs and picks up the dice, but not before taking a drink from the shared bottle. Single sec. You're somewhat surprised to discover another level of the planet's poverty. Okay. Let's go to the exam room. Or northwest. Exam room. The clinic is small, consisting of only an exam room, record player base. Let's go back. Clinic lobby, west. Alleyway, north. Northwest. Right back over here. Station, protester, bar, office. The posters and logo. Okay, this is something new. Gas Technin offices. The posters and logos plastered across the well-lit office tell you this is Gas Technin's main office for Bluèl. The space is bright and free of dust. Unlike the other buildings, this space is lit with electric light bulbs. Emerald green plants of plastic decorate each of the 4 corners. Were it not for the massive painted logo looming over the office, you might forget for a moment which planet you're on. The company's secretary is speaking cheerfully to a very angry but achingly beautiful individual. They tower over the secretary's desk in a long black coat. Shanti, it's immaterial. The secretary says, food tokens cannot just be handed out. They must be earned, worked for. We do work. It's not enough, Shanti spits back. You must know this. Everyone knows this. The secretary types something into his terminal. It looks like you should receive a paycheck and tokens tomorrow. A sympathetic look crosses his face before he reaches behind his desk and produces a few tokens. This should hold you over until then. These are drink tokens, Shanti says, examining them, and only for beer. Press any key. Posters. Any key. The secretary notices you and smiles in your direction. Shanti takes the drink tokens and storms past you and out of the office. I am just so sorry about that, sir, he says. You follow his eyes to see Shanti making a rude gesture through the front window before walking out of view. Our friend seems to be having a bad day. His smile turns to an exaggerated frown. Anyways, his smile bounces back to life. We don't get many visitors here. but we welcome them all the same. So welcome to the Bluèl branch of Gas Technin Constellation Enterprises. Animus, I don't like this man. Sinew, he seems well fed and cleaner than anyone else here, though. Maybe we should rob him. Synapse, I don't care for him either, but let's not attract attention. Sinew, Synapse, don't sulk. If you still feel like robbing him after we complete the contract, we'll come back. How can I help you, gentlemen? He chimes, his smile slipping as his gaze lands upon Isaac. Alright, let's talk to Shanti. I can't see that. How do you not see it? Ex Shanti. I can't see that. Alright, what else? Okay, talk to secretary. What was that fight all about? His frown returns like an actor getting into a role. Well, Gas Technin is happy to provide as many food tokens as our employees need, so long as the current ration rate allows us to do so. But some people become greedy, then they become agitated. He pauses and looks around the empty office. I would tell you all about the issues we've had with Shanti, Pinji of the Sagittarius constellation, born March 4th, 4001, employee number 6392. But Gas Technin employees' data is strictly confidential. What sort of people work here? Per our agreement with the Virgo constellation governing bodies, we can only employ natural-born citizens of Bluèl and its host planet, but we are always happy to make an exception. We can adjust your paperwork to train you to find success and fulfillment in many of our refinery roles. You look like you know a thing or two about the element divergence best practices. He looks over at Isaac and becomes a smile in his direction, seemingly unconfused by small figure's strange appearance. We also have plenty of roles for children eager to earn some spending money. The volume of Isaac's silence seems to suddenly increase. I'll talk to Gas Technin secretary about what does this company do? We at Gas Technin are proud to provide the Scorpio, Virgo, and Libra constellations with the argon trioxide gas they need, not just to survive, but to thrive in a reconnected acreage. Our proprietary technology and valued employees come together to do something truly magical. Use data-driven insights to extract, refine, and ship hydrogen trioxide gas from our underground reserves to industries all over the acreage. How neat is that? What can you tell me about Bluèl? When Gas Technin purchased Bluèl's host planet, we made a commitment to its people, and we stand by that commitment to this very day. Some say argon trioxide gas is our most important product, but he leans in, his voice switching to a stage whisper, but I would say its purpose. He leans back in his chair, his voice returning to normal. That's what we're able to give our employees here on Bluèl, a purpose for their lives. Talk to Gas Technin secretary about the protester in the CR district. Oh, him? The secretary says, a chuckle escaping his lips. Yes, he is a spirited boy, and I want you to know that Gas Technin actually takes his concerns very seriously. We're always striving to be the best employer and governing body for the people of Bluèl. So the secretary of the flyer. Won a lottery? Yes, I've seen these often littering our district streets. What do you think? They're not very convincing, are they? They used to be much better, you know. Both the copy and design. He used to run around with some other young man, talented, a great orator. Anyways, he won a company lottery just enough to close his contract and catch the first flight out of Bluèl. How lucky for him. Oh yes, our very first one too. Every citizen entered for a small fee and selected a number, and he picked the very number I was thinking of. It was a fun distraction, but I don't think we'll be doing another one next year. And we can exit. I'm pretty sure they killed that guy, of course. Alright, so we got some progress. Let's go back to, man, that dark green is really not popping, man. I really would like a purple instead of a dark green. It just blends in with the other green. Alright, so where do we go? See our district west? Yeah. See Shanti walking quickly across the lane and towards the bar, their brow furrowed in anger. Okay, talk to Shanti. Okay, talk to Shanti. Let's go back to the bar. Yeah, let's go to the bar. Shanti, okay, we got some progress. Okay, Norte Few. As the morning progresses, several drinkers have switched to coffee before heading out to their job sites. Although you spot plenty who are attempting to get one more drink into their bloodstreams, including two workers deep in conversation, the bartender moves gracefully despite his size between customers, taps and bottles of various spirits. Okay, Desmond sits alone at the table just near the entrance. Don't bother. This is a company bar, so they only take tokens. They won't even let me buy a beer with cash. Shanti, the worker from the gas technician offices, is at the bar now, arguing with the bartender. Their eyes and voice are steady as they speak, both hands pressing firmly against the wooden bar top. Yes, I know they are drink tokens, but I just want some rice. You sell that here? No, they say. For the last time, they are only good for drinks, the bartender replies tersely before looking closely at the tokens in their hands, and only beer. What about the bathroom? I mean, is it always disgusting? I can clean it. Bathroom's fine. Now order something or get out. The bartender walks away to the other end of the bar, where a queue has started to grow. A rapid stream of swears follows him in a foreign language. Synapse, some dialect from Capricorn perhaps, I can't be sure. Animus, they called him an a-hole. We don't need a translator to know that. Shanti collapses into a seat at a table crammed in the corner, fiddling with her unused drink tokens. Still can't talk to Shanti. Okay, we can now. Okay, strangely. Where are you from? They sigh and look up at you. I don't mean to be rude, but I am not in the mood to share. And what was that fight all about? This darn company, in this darn place, they say. So many hours must be worked for food tokens, and no one selling food will take cash. If we are late, we lose tokens. If we miss quota, we lose tokens. If the refinery misses quota, we lose tokens. Lose, lose, lose. That's all we do here. Where you from? I think we already asked that. To where you from again. Alright, that's all we can ask. Alright, maybe we can go to the kitchen again, maybe, and change it up. Exit lock, nope. Okay, must go back east. Okay, we hit the bar. We hit the office building. We hit the alleyway. Okay, we can either go south or north, but let's hit the alleyway again though. Man involved with the dice game, can talk with me. Clinic exam room, south. Alleyway again, clinic lobby. Take the book. Okay, I should have took the book before, I think. Examine book. The title of the book is engraved into its cover in fading gold letters. The pages are worn and the spine is weakened. However, it's from someone's home. You will open the book and find a handwritten message on title paper, looping symbols of blue ink. Alright, let's check my inventory again. Got a flyer, got licenses, got the pistol, printed photograph, a watch, cash, a vial, repair kit, and a book. Southern Lane, let's go west. So we gotta go east. Clinic lobby west. We just came from here. West, we can't go there, so we go east. Go back to the alleyway. Civil Resource District northwest. East office building. The posters and logos. X logo, X posters. X logos. Talk to Isaac. Talk to secretary. Talk to secretary. Exit. Okay, maybe we can go north now. I don't know. Can't go there. West bar, office building, alleyway, southern lane, south. Okay, gotta find a repair person or something, but who in the crap is the repair person? Okay, bar. We did the bar. Office building. I think we're in the office building. Okay, we're in gas station offices. Alleyway, ain't nothing in the alleyway. South, we can't go south. We can't go north. Where can we go? We just came from the alleyway. The bar is not hitting on anything. Alright, let's go to the bar again. I don't know, it's like I'm just looking for that one place to go, but it's like I wish the game would nudge me in the right direction, because I'm getting cheesed off on finding where to go right now. It's not the bar, it's not the port, it's not the office building. I just left the alleyway, so where do I go? Northwest. I can't go north. Maybe I can. Okay. Okay. Overall, clad workers scatter and regroup throughout the port's expansive space, jumping over cables and fuel lines. The smell of exhaust and varying burning gases cling immediately to your throat. You see your ship, the visual, dwarfed by enormous tanker crafts. I read it before. Our east, the visual. Exit locked. The ship isn't going anywhere. In its current condition, you need to find some way to get it repaired. I have the goddamn repair kit, so use the repair kit. X repair kit. A red backpack that contains an array of tools sufficient for minor repairs of varying machines. The ship isn't going anywhere. You need to find some way to get it repaired. What the crap are you saying? I have the repair kit. Inventory. Carrying a flyer, licenses, pistol, printed photograph, a watch, cash, vial, repair kit, and a book. I gotta find sleeping pills. I gotta find food to give the chick. Find food to get the pawn shop chick. Okay, let's try to go to the pawn shop again. No, man, it's giving me a loop, man. It's kind of teasing me off right now. Okay, pawn shop to the west. Take the gun. Take weapons. Take camera. Take clothing. Talk to clerk. Sleeping pills. See instruments. Heater parts, new flame lamps, wrenches. Most of the items here for sale would be used to repair housing, keep essential machines in decent working order. Instruments, camera, weapons, clothing. Okay, talk to the clerk again. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like I'm caught in one of them loops I don't know how to get out of. Only place I can go is east. Okay, we got the Northern Lane grocery store. Maybe because it's a different part of the day, the grocery store is open now, or... Egg sign. A coin. The page is strewn. X coin. A small brass coin stamped into the metal are the words food token. Ah, you son of a gun. Oh my gosh. Because it's like you can't access everything until it becomes later on in the story. But it's like I've already looked at it, so... cheesing me off. Alright, a small brass coin stamped into the metal are the words food token, Bluèl. On the reverse side, you can see a small chip embedded in the metal. Synapse and anti-counterfeiting measure. Food is rationed closely here. Animus many palms have trembled holding this coin. Feel the anticipation of sustenance, the pain of handing it away to the grocer's daughter. Alright, take the coin. Bend down, pick up the coin. It's cold and greasy to the touch. Stamped into the metal are the words food token. The treasure you discovered. The crowd eyes you suspiciously, but no one seems to catch on to the treasure you discovered. Inventory, I had a coin, right? Food token. Alright, let's go to the freaking southeast. Pawn shop west. Sounds like Final Fantasy music here. Talk to clerk. Horde, you sell sleeping pills. We got on a thread about like you'll sell me, we got on a thread about she will take food, so you got the food now. Just sell me the sleeping pills. Wow. I have the food token. What do I do with it? Okay, let's go back to the grocery store maybe, or... Let's talk to clerk again. Exit you. East. Grocery store, northwest. Northwest. I've already looked at the newspapers. Southeast. Grocery store, we just hit it. Pawn shop, we just hit it. Clinic. Try to 10 again. West. Pawn shop, clinic, tent, motel. It's either go back to the motel or go to the clinic or clinic. Exit locked. Thank you for your patience as we complete necessary upgrades. The upgrades aren't gonna ever come. Okay. Go back to the motel, I guess. Talk to Isaac. He's talking like Yoda. Talk to Cat. Meow. Pet Cat. The cat's head twitches at your touch. It begins to hiss, but the sound is cut short and a burst of sparks jumps from between its sharp teeth. It may be possible to repair it. Check with the motel manager. Okay. Talk to manager. I could probably repair your cat. Isaac shrugs. Do as you please. The tools you carry will not fix your ship. You press against the right eye of the cat until it falls back into socket and the entire body goes limp with mechanical obedience. The manager gasps, but your attention remains on the insides of the robotic creature, now revealed via an opening on its stomach. The mechanics are not particularly unique or advanced. Miniature pistons and a series of wires leading to the processor, which thankfully doesn't seem to be the issue here. It's not difficult to identify the problem. Some bad wiring and loose connectors. You unpack the repair kit and begin your work. The manager watches your hands, unable to hide the concern brimming around his dark blue irises. For a moment, you feel as though you're operating on an actual living thing. You close up the panel and press the cat's eye once again. Animus, the manager is holding his breath. Synapse is not sure why the repair was executed perfectly. The cat rises, arching its back into long stretches. Much to the delight of the manager, it jumps off the desk and begins tentatively exploring the damp lobby. Look at her go. Can you believe someone just threw her away? He looks up and makes eye contact with you for the first time and quickly corrects his demeanor. Well, thank you then. You let it me know if if you need anything. Talk to the manager about is that your pet cat? Do you know if there's an engineer here who can fix a ship? You need a ship engineer? Have you checked the port? Julia can probably help you. Although at this hour she's probably at Notre Few. She cooks for them to earn extra tokens. If anyone can fix your ship, she can, he says, adding it. It may take some convincing though. She's not fond of helping people, or people in general for that matter. Alright, made some progress. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Alright, now I don't see where to go. It's not telling me, it's not letting me go anywhere now. Talk to manager. Exit. Okay, we gotta exit the conversation. No? I don't know if I hit a I don't know if I hit a glitch or what, but it's like I can't go anywhere else. Let's try north. Okay, got lucky. Okay. Yeah, let's make a mark of that though. 222. It didn't show me an option to leave. To the bar. West. West. The kitchen of Norte Few is cramped and fiercely hot. There's hardly enough room for a stove and a sink. The chef Julia cracks an egg in a scorching pan of rice with such focus that she doesn't hear you come in. Once the yolk is broken into a smear of gold, a rubber spatula mixes it into the rice. Sinew, sustenance. Tins of dried spices wait assiduously on a shelf mounted to the metal wall. Norte Few East. Talk to Julia. One, I heard you're an engineer. You ask Julia if she has a moment. Your inquiry is not well received. She looks up suddenly from her flames and rice and eggs. Not at all thrilled by the interruption, her stare pierces you until the silence collapses. I'm working. F off. I like the cut of your jib, Sinew. You explain as quickly as you can that the motel manager recommended her engineering acumen and that your ship was shredded in the pieces. Const. And is she interested in making some extra cash in exchange for some repairs? I'm working for tokens, not cash, and not for bloody strangers. So again, F off. Without another word, Isaac disappears through the kitchen door. 225. Pisces. Const. In his absence, she turns back to her stove, fury and flames accosting her torso. You can feel the anger shimmering alongside the oil and spices. Sinew, I think she's about to kill you. Why the F are you still in my effing kitchen? She finally shouts, turning around, a long knife held tight in her hand as your life is flashing before your eyes. Isaac returns and drops 9 heavy tokens onto the cutting board, each one engraved with the words food token. Fine. Her hands sweep the tokens away, but not before glaring holes into both of your skulls. What do you want? She agrees to fix your ship, but insists on cleaning up first, turning to the sink as it bursts forth a scalding spring. She doesn't seem to mind you now, waiting in the doorway while suds bloom between the sponge and her metal tools. Once she's done and all the blades and spatulas are dried, she hangs up her apron. With a sharp nod, she heads through the bar and into the CR district, leaving you alone in her kitchen. North View East. The morning's bar population is a blend of people drinking beer and coffee. A few are waiting for what appears to be egg fried rice from metal bowls. Just about every table at the bar is full of the entire space breathes with the blending of several conversations, including workers sitting at the counter. Deep conversations about the bartender moves gracefully despite his size between customers. Taps, and we read this already. Shanti sitting there soaking at one of the tables. They're taking small sips from a mug of beer. Offer a food token to Shanti. You explain that you're only passing through on assignment and don't have much use for local tokens. You place the food token on the table and slide it over. They stare at the gift as though it might burn their hands, but eventually reach for it anyways. The token disappears into their coat. But I am not going to owe you anything, they say, dropping a drink token onto the side of the table where it clatters and spins. Have this token. It's only good for drinks in this crappy bar though. They get up from the table and turn to look down at you. You're taken aback by their beauty. Thank you. You watch them walk out of the bar and into the district beyond. You pick up the drink token, considering its weight, in your palm. Animus, this place is a bit dimmer without their presence. Isaac's voice interrupts your lodging. The brighter acreage you see, it is possible. Help me will into existence. Shut up, Yoda. Alright, let's go to the... I know you say like you're trying to keep the green theme, but I really would prefer the directions to be purple. It just blends in. Kind of annoying that it's blending in. East. Okay, let's go to port, maybe. Isaac stops you by the rail tracks. Desmond is awake. Give him a drink of chemical sleep, then we will disappear. I gotta go on another treasure hunt. Tell me it ain't so. Alleyway, southern lane, south. Okay, we gotta find the sleeping pills, so we gotta go to the... We have food tokens, so maybe the freaking pawn shop lady will let us get the sleeping pills. But... okay, let's go south. Let's go west. Alright, okay, some progress. Alright, you walk up to the steps to the front door of the pawn shop. The clerk looks up and throws you a quick nod before buzzing you in, taking the last bite of what appears to be an egg and cheese sandwich. Several parallels of flame lamps illuminate the shop's crowded shelves with dancing light. The air is musty and smells of old mechanical instruments. A few articles of clothing hang on to the walls, but the dust gathering their shoulder pads speaks of the lack of demand. A few weapons lay inert beneath the glass counter. Security camera. Okay, we had read all this, but Isaac doesn't seem to register this comment is referring to him. His lenses seem to be focused on some sort of manuscript draped beneath the clown figurine. I guess I owe you some sort of thanks, unless there's another hired hand with an eyeless sick child giving away food tokens, she says as she chews. Yeah, anyways, thanks. A quick grimace crosses her hand before being replaced by something else. Annabis, it's not really a smile, but she's no longer actively wishing you were dead. I'm Colette, by the way. We can pay you back next month if you're still here. Examine the manuscript. A shard of ancient manuscript pressed between two slates of glass. You walk over and examine it over Isaac's shoulder. Long swooping characters with sharp accent marks carry your eyes across the yellowed page like a reed in a river down to the illustrations in the bottom right hand corner where gray demonic figure of some sort. A gray demonic figure. 232. Of some sort is depicted devouring an infant. Despite the simplicity of the art, you feel your stomach turn. An omen of terrible things to come. A synapse, no. A Libran artifact from a pre-fold era, nothing more. Okay, talk to the freaking Colette. I can't spell that. Talk to clerk. Give me these goddamn sleeping pills, you miserable, insufferable lady. Okay, she looks past your shoulder at someone examining at a machine part and waits for them to leave. Okay, yeah, we have some, she says, pulling a small pill bottle from behind the counter and shaking it. You're about to insert your cash into the machine. When Colette coughs and holds out her hand, you place the bills on her open palm instead. She slips them into her jean pocket and hands you a small orange bottle. There is only one. There are... Yeah. 233. And holds out her hand. She slips it into the small bottle there. One pill inside. Synapse. It's suprabarbital. Very strong. One will be enough. If you get caught with that, she says, tell them it's a corporate prescription from another constellation. Const is a thing, I guess. Constellation. Talk to Colette about what kind of shop this is. How do you like living here? So that was your partner trading drink tokens for food? What's the story with that gun? Alright, 3. I guess so, yeah, she laughs. Their name's Shanti. Been together for a year now, I think. We met where everyone meets, Norte Few. It was 3:45 a.m. and everyone was hammered, and they were just there with a bit of whiskey in hand, watching as though they were in a theater seat. I watched them watching. Brown eyes, crooked smile. They told me they had just been transferred to Bluèl and needed somewhere to stay. Yeah, and that was it. What's the story with that gun? Let me get that gun up off you. She pets the pistol affectionately. Old Abe, he was my father's, she explained. Saved his life more than once. He said my uncle, I never met him, but that was my uncle used it to kill a king in a Scorpio const. Some real piece of S. Tyrant. Alright, let's exit. Okay, we got the sleeping pills. We can go back to... Luckily, I can just press north and be good, I'm hoping. East. Motel, perhaps. Can't go west. Go north. Port. Desmond is awake. Give him a drink of chemical sleep. Talk to Desmond. Isaac stops you by the light rail tracks. Where is Desmond at, man? Excuse me.
The universe expands faster than our understanding. In the silence, humanity searches for its place.
Okay, Isaac stops you by the light rail tracks. Desmond is asleep. Give him a drink of chemical sleep, then we will disappear. Okay, maybe we gotta go back to the motel. X sleeping pills. A chemical compound named citizens on Bluèl often break open the tablets and heat the internals in a small glass pipe. The effect of the frontal cortex is similar to what one would experience when served a favored meal from their childhood. Ingested orally leads only to a deep and dreamless slumber. Okay, man, I'm trying to get up out of here, but Desmond, we gotta give him the sleeping pills, but where are you, Desmond? Can't go to the motel room. North. Isaac huddles next to you. Clinic, motel. Exit locked. Chain, a sign. North, grocery store, pawn shop. Clinic, tent, motel. North. X station. Alleyway. North. Desmond is awake. Give him a drink of chemical sleep. Okay, talk to Desmond. Okay, I'm trying to leave this place, and then you're talking about Desmond, but where the crap is Desmond at, man? Alright, let's go east. Talk to secretary. Alleyway. Can't go there. Go back to the bar, office building, alleyway. South, northwest. Okay, exit locked. Pulsing music blares from inside the abandoned clinic, barely muffled by the concrete wall. Someone inside is jamming on an electric bass guitar. Their improvised music blending expertly over a Scorpio synth rock record. You knock, but either they can't hear you or the music, or choose to ignore you. Okay, there's something going on in the clinic. Alright, so let's go northwest. Can't go in the office building. Alleyway, southern lane, south. The bar again, west or south. Talk to vendor. Stall. Vendors stand outside of their stalls, now open, trying to lure potential buyers with whistles and bells. A few are topped with banners, though they are tattered and their colors weary. One vendor An old woman stands outside of the first stall, ringing a large brass bell and waving to you. East. Exit locked. Is the grocery store active now? No. Southeast. Isaac stops you by the light rail tracks. Desmond is awake. Man, F Desmond, man. Let's leave Desmond where he is, man. Where is Desmond? I got the stuff for you, Desmond. Where are you at, Desmond? The fudge are you at, Desmond? You're carrying a drink token, the sleep. I got the sleeping pills, man. Desmond, where you at? Trying to give you the pills. Where you at, Desmond? My God. Okay, port. I can't go to port because stupid Isaac won't let me go. Okay, the bar. Let's go back to the bar. Who can talk to me at the bar? Workers. Okay, now there's 2 workers. All of a sudden. Where did y'all come from? Talk to workers. They don't seem to be in the mood for conversation. Okay, bartender. Desmond, you stupid son of a... Okay, you're at the bar. Well, freaking Isaac, you should have told me that Desmond was at the bar. My God. Okay, talk to Desmond. Let's see, who was Isaac? Okay, you don't need to ask, Lane, he says. When Isaac is ready, and if you are found worthy, he will show you who he is. Lane, serial experiments, Lane? Okay, what's the contract again? Listen, no one's trying to convert you, Lane, Desmond says. You just need to do what's been agreed and get Isaac safely to the Surst. Once we arrive, you'll be paid in full and can go on with your life. What kind of place is Surst? It's a tanked city, he says, somewhere in the backwoods of the Leo constellation. Fool's place for a settlement. They had to trade from their mines for everything they needed. Food, air, water. Then the divide cut them off, and the entire population was dead in a few months. A ghost town for centuries until the first fold engines were built. Some captor cult arrived looking to build a place from which they could spread their lies. He spits on the floor, trying to get a taste of his words out of his mouth. But Isaac is proving that he can use all things for his truth. What do you know about the divide? I'll tell you what, he says. You find me a drink, and I'll tell you who was really responsible for it all. What do you know about the divide? I'll tell you what. Talk to bartender. One beer, please. You drop the heavy coin onto the bar. The bartender is suspicious but takes the coin and begins filling a glass with beer the color of ancient gold. The bartender sets the beer down with the clunk and walks away. You pull the sleeping pills out of your pocket and empty the capsule into your palms. What will you do? Put the sleeping drug into Desmond's beer. Yeah. You watch the white powder dissolve amongst the bubbles of the beer. Now what? Talk to Desmond. Here, I dug this up for you. Give Desmond a beer. You offer a beer to Desmond. Well, now, what's this? He says, as he happily accepts the beer. He drinks it as he talks about his home planet in the farm where he and his brother grew up. He's in the middle of a rather boring story about a downed harvesting machine when he becomes suddenly very sleepy and slumps over the table. No one seems to notice or care. Desmond is slumped over the bar in the corner of the bar. Talk to Isaac. Okay, let's go to the northern lane. Let's go north. Finally, okay, Bluèl and gas Technin Acreage port. The panels of your ship's hull are open like fish gills. Most of Julia is hidden within. You hear loud metallic banging and the occasional sound of a drill. As you approach, Julia's head and shoulders emerge from the visuals, shined with sweat. She tosses a wrench to the ground and walks toward you. She's somehow angrier than last you saw her. Sinew, I'm impressed. What the F did you do to her? She shouts across the port and she closes the distance between you. This is a effing Corver. A-class with a freaking unstable fold engine, and you let it take a hit like this? You don't deserve her. No one in the Acreage has ever deserved anything less. She takes a deep and futile, calming breath and begins walking back to your ship. Repairs will be done in a few minutes. Only because I'm real effing good, though. Now F off. The Vigil east. Let's go east. Exit locked. The ship isn't going anywhere in its current condition. You need to find some way to get it repaired. That's what I'm doing. South. Talk to Julia again for no reason. Where'd you learn to fix ships like this? How long will the repairs take? She already said a minute. I ran with pirates before the guys abandoned me here. They said my personality was hostile, she sneers. I used to shoot down hotshot elves like you by the dozen. Don't think I forgot now. You're surprised to see to see a playful smile on her lips. How long will the repairs take? Asking this was a mistake. You know it the second the words leave your mouth. Longer than you took to make whatever stupid mistake led to the damage, she says coldly. Just screw off for a while and let me work. Okay, you walk through the streets of this CR district with a sense of relief. It's been so long the feeling is almost foreign. Julia's repair is almost complete and you are one step closer to getting off this depressing planet. That's when you see him, marching joyously across the street towards you, the gas Technin secretary. Hello, sir. Hello. He shouts before he's even close to you. 255. Sinew, not him again. I might have to rough him up a bit before this is all over. Synapse, I might have to let you. Press any key. I have a great news, he says brightly when he finally joins you on the street corner. People passing by on the sidewalk give a wide berth like a river rushing around a stone. Now, I've spoken with our Virgo home office, and you won't need to pay any of the credits for the use of our port or our fiery chef slash engineer Julia. Animus, do not be fooled. This is not, in fact, great news. Isaac speaks from your elbow. The coin is yours. You can have it today. The secretary seems surprised to hear Isaac speak, but carries on regardless. No nonsense. Your money is no good here. Quite literally, actually. You've been blessed with the opportunity to pay the old-fashioned way, hard work, Synapse. Perhaps we should have seen this coming. Desperate planets often pull this scam on visitors. It's surprisingly effective. He'll have already locked down our ship's engine remotely. He might even have a buyer for it. Talk to Gas Technin secretary about what kind of contract. 2. I already have a job. I don't need another. What kind of contract? Oh, it's a great contract, he exclaims. I'm honestly a little jealous. You'll start right where the action is, 6 miles beneath the surface of Bluèl at one of our direct extraction sites. After about 10 months on the job, you and Gas Technin should be squared, plus training and boarding cost, of course. Why humor the fool whom death would love to find, Isaac said, not bothering to lower his voice. We leave tonight. The secretary pretends not to hear Isaac, but his smile falters slightly. Talk to the Gas Technin secretary about, I already have a job, I don't need another. You will be free to resume your current job, whenever that may be, once you've paid for all the services Gas Technin has proudly provided, the secretary says. Now, where's my pen? It's a Delta's, navy blue, scorpion ink. You're going to love it. He pats down his blazer pockets. I must have left it in my office. Alright. Okay, well then it's settled. You can visit me at the office as soon as possible and we'll get you all sorted. Paperwork fitted for your uniform and a training video or two. See you soon. You watch him proudly walk away and head into Gas Technin's offices. Isaac looks up at you. Set us free. Even if a blood sacrifice is demanded, Surst is waiting. Isaac holds his tunic tightly around himself. Okay, we're going north. Port. Vigil. The terminal next to the pilot's seat handles most basic ship commands. The cold winds of Bluèl find their way into the cabin through your ship's open door. The instrument panel glows red like a pile of rubies in the sun. None of the buttons respond to your command, Synapse. The secretary has remotely locked down our craft. We're stuck here until you can find a way to undo that. The situation demands action, Isaac says, the red lights reflecting in his lenses. Examine the terminal. The terminal remains frozen via a remote lockdown command. Alright, yeah, I know this is the furthest that I've gotten. And in less time, I believe I was on it like 4 hours last time, but alright, 3 hours in, not making the worst time. Alright, let's go to the northern lane, south. Let's try to hit their offices up. I can't go there. Okay, let's go east. We're already in the visual, I thought. Same individual. Can't do that. Okay, maybe we can go north somehow. Try to go east. Try to go west. Okay, let's go south. Office building. Okay, the secretary smiles wide. He's waving a thick stack of papers in the air. Synapse. Synapse, it's an employment contract. Animus. He actually thinks you're going to sign it. Alright. Uh, alright. How exciting. Are you ready to get to work? Excuse me. Talk to secretary. Talk. Pull out your pistol and shoot the secretary. What if I signed up Desmond? He can fulfill the contract. The secretary looks at you incredulously. Do you mean the man currently passed out drunk in our bar? He asked. We believe that everyone can find a place here at Gas Technin, but I have to be honest. I have enough alcoholics on my payroll and I don't need another one. I'm sorry, but you're hired. Not your friend. Congratulations. Well, we're finna pop you, bastard. Send you. Yes, act now. He has this coming. I can taste the hate of this planet converging toward a hollow where his heart should be. Bitter like mustard seeds broken between our teeth. Break him. Animus. August 18th, 3019. It's morning and hot and humid on a planet named for a ancient movie star. 303. A man's wife asks him to again sign the papers to end the union that ended long ago. His daughter sits at the kitchen table pretending not to hear. He mumbles something before draining the rest of his coffee and going to work. He is late and his boss notices, and his supervisor too. Last warning, Willard. He finds his place on the factory line, stamping out ammunition for a weapon he will never wield. For you, for this moment, for a dedicated secretary of Gas Technin Interconstellation Enterprises. Send you now. Your father shifts a fraction of an inch. A sonic boom, a flash of lightning pierces reality and sends your ears ringing. The metal of the pistol's barrel fails to contain the explosion, shattering, but the bullet still finds its mark. The secretary moves to clutch his chest where a bed of roses has begun to bloom, but his arms fail and collapse to his sides. His face finds the keyboard of his terminal as he falls forward, then down to the floor. Smoke like a lullaby drifts from the shattered barrel of your weapon. Animus the 14th, forgive us. Sinew, we're still here. You're welcome. Synapse. Silence, both of you. Someone will have heard that shot. We need to hurry. Isaac stands unconcerned by the unfolded chaos. You met the moment with action. Take control of the terminal and set us free. Terminal. You walk around the desk, careful not to step in blood, and sit at the terminal. Synapse. This should be easy. Just find the security settings for our ship. Pressing key. Gas Technin Interweb. Please choose access mode. 1 messages, 2 port controls, 3 quit. Let's go to messages first. Yeah, this is This is cool. Well, it's switching it up like Inscription did when it went to video. Gas Technic Interweb, Select Ship, Virgo Office, Employee Hours, Tremont PK, Fugitive Trace, Virgo Office, Production Members, Flirtech, you have one match. Let's go to Flirtech, you have one match. Congratulations, you have a new match for your Flirtech profile. Meet your potential new partner below. Name, Kathy Smith. Career, model. Constellation, Virgo, third sector. Profile data. Hello, sexy stranger. You are so sexy. You are so stranger. Meet me today, but I need money to send you hot pics. Wire $250 to 456121 today to see such hot pics. Kiss, kiss, and maybe more. If you send $250, please. Wow, she sounds like a catch. Congratulations, and let us know when the wedding is. Thank you for trusting your heart to Flirtech. Message end. Press any key to return home. Ha. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's just go port controls. The vigil. Man, let's free everybody, you know. Free everybody from this tyranny. Cargo 20,000 KTS. Ace 302 liquid. Crew 45. Flight restrictions null. Captain Loist is willing to pay for expedited processing and delayed inspections. Press any key to return home. Alright, we're just gonna worry about us right now. The visual. Cargo unknown. Crew 3. Flight restrictions locked down. Note potential employees on board. Initiate lockdown as soon as prudent to do so. Unset flight restrictions. Yes, sir. Lockdown status null. Plus any key to return home. Alright, can we free anybody else right quick though? Okay, let's go 3. Redacted. Press any key. Do not speak to crew. Do not expect or refuel. Permanent status. Alright, let's go 2. Voltex LLC. No. President may be on board. Let Norte Few know to prepare 3 bottles of Libran whiskey upon landing. What's that? Romulan ale. Yeah, Romulan ale. Virgo office. Let's see what all these things are. Production numbers, we were well and beyond Q4 projections. Good job. We've captured several new contracts to take advantage of the overflow. Your pay as a result will increase 10% for the remainder of the year. Please note that the additional contracts will require a 15% increase in production for your next year's Q1, Q2, Q3, and importantly Q4. I suggest you invest in aggressive recruiting measures to ensure all teams are ready for the additional demand. Constellation President has already given you a green light for the creative solutions. Thank you. Sean P. Deller, Director Virgo Constellation Operations. Message end. Tremont. A Corver A-class ship fleeing Tremont peacekeeping forces was traced through fold space to the Virgo constellation. In accordance with the Safer Gathered Constellations Accord, we expect any sightings or scans of said ship to be reported back to the Tremont Peacekeeping Union. Ship signature Virgil. Please note, fugitives are armed and bent towards violence. Ship is equipped with beam cannons and a illegal fold engine. Destroy if necessary. Send wreckage scans to 521238. Message end. Alright, one more message. Virgo office. Employee hours. Due to high demand of Gas Technin's excellent products across all divisions, an immediate 20% increase in hours will be required by all Class A, B, and D employees. Pay/token increases are not available at this time. These guys are despicable. Employee morale fell during the last hour extension. We expect you to manage the situation in such a way as to avoid a similar response during the next quarterly review. Thank you. Sean P. Deller, Director, Virgo Constellation Operations. Message end. Alright, and we can quit. Cool. Alright, gas technician offices. The posters and logos plastered across the well-lit office tell you that this gas technician's main office for Bluèl. The secretary is dead on the floor behind his desk. This looks to be a different kind of green, but I might just be tripping off the contrast to the blue. The entire space is bright and free of perennial grime that seems to coat the rest of the city. Unlike the other buildings you've seen, this place is lit with electric light bulbs and logo, X logo. Logo is painted on the white office walls. It features a blue and white flame encircled with laurel wreath. The words beneath it read Gas Technin Constellation Enterprises, Bluèl Branch. Now let's examine the dead secretary. The bloodied body of the secretary lays crumpled on the gray carpet. Alright, let's go west. You look out the front door expecting to see a crowd forming around the epicenter of the gunshot. To your surprise, although a few curious faces aim toward you, no one seems to care very much once they realize where the shot came from. Now let's go north. Faith is brightest in the dark. I will be on the ship waiting. Surst is waiting. He walks onto the ship, leading you in the frigid port. Go east. The terminal next to the pilot's seat handles most basic ship commands. The cold winds of Bluèl. Isaac touches your shoulder. You try not to think. Okay, the terminal next to the pilot's seat handles most basic ship commands. The cold winds of Bluèl find their way into the cabin through your ship's open door. The instrument panel on the ship glows with lights and readouts of various colors. You try not to think about Desmond. You imagine he'll catch the next flight out of Bluèl, but you can't be sure. The city's hunger for victims seems insatiable. Isaac touches your shoulder. What you did was going to be done. Time is against us now. Fly. His words offer you little solace. Isaac finds the seat at a table toward the back of the cockpit. Bluèl Port West. Ah man, we gotta go back and get Desmond, man. We'll go south. You can't go there. Why can't I go there? Go east. No. Go north. Go west. Go south. South. Go to the bar. The morning's bar population, just about every table at the bar is full, and the entire space breathes the blending of several. Desmond is passed out at the table. He's not the only one sleeping, and he goes unnoticed. Talk to Desmond. Desmond is slumped over the table. Okay, I got anything in the inventory to wake him up. Carrying a flyer, broken pistol, licenses, printed photograph, a watch, cash, a vial, and a book. If I hit him with a vial, maybe. No. Use vial. Alright, man, that fool is out, so I guess we gotta just fly away, I guess, man. I tried. East. Bluèl Port. Talk to Isaac. East. The terminal next to the pilot's seat handles most basic ship commands. X terminal. Take off. Engage fold engines, landing sequences. Engage fold sequences. Error. F engine 23X not charged. X terminal. Take off. The ship's door closes and locks before your ship lifts from the ground and into the sky. The city of Bluèl shrinking into miniature. You look at it one last time before pulling up on the controls. Your ship suddenly falls away from the planet up into the darkness of the acreage. The vigil hangs small and vulnerable into the blackness of the anchorage. You take a moment to double check fold engine status lines. Your terminal confirms that it is primed and ready. You look out the port side window and see Bluèl in its entirety. Beneath massive smears of gray, a single island stretches across the surface, surrounded by dark blue water. The sun is eclipsed entirely by the planet, its rays of light beaming out around it like a halo. Isaac sits still in his seat, his eyes staring out a window at the planet. Your ship's terminal waits for your next command. Three landing sequences. You type the landing coordinates for the local port. The ship tilts towards the planet before easily slipping downward into its orbit. The atmosphere swirls around your ship before dissolving, and you see the grandeur of the Surst for the first time. And you've worked on tanked cities before, but nothing like this. Beneath the sky of blurred pinks and fading greens, glass pyramids rise from the soft brown landscape, each one on the side of a small mountain within their angled walls. The lights of multiple cities dance and flicker sinew. Now this is the show of strength. Can you imagine the citizenship who built this? A panel of glass the size of a city block slides away with a surprising speed, revealing the city's main port. After passing through the air gap and security scanners, the vessel finally arrives on Surst. Your ship's door opens with a hiss and a distinct earthy smell of synthetic oxygen fills the cabin. Enter E to exit your ship. Surst Acreage Port. Surst Anchorage Port. You lead the way off the ship, carrying the few small leather bags from Desmond's vacant cabin. Isaac follows you out of the ship and into the Surst main acreage port. Designed for passenger ships, it's smaller than its counterpart on Bluèl, now countless light years away. Your eyes slowly adjust to the blinding light, and you see that the port is entirely deserted. Then you hear it, a waltzing melody sung by a flute. A nun emerges from the port's entrance, draped in a robe of bright yellow that reaches to the floor. But just barely. A silver flute floats in her hands, her lips forming a perfect circle. Choices always were a problem for you. The song is elegant, and perfect in its simplicity. Synapse, a 3/4 time signature juxtaposed against the inverted fifth D minor chord leads to shh, just listen. Isaac looks up at you. The voice box of his chest, at his chest, comes to life, deeper and warmer. Your work is not yet finished. My work is only beginning. Come to my side, bright-eyed Laney. Serial experiments, Laney. We can save the acreage. Animus, father's voice. When the bank took our house, we packed as though our toys were made of gold. Synapse impossible. What will you do? Join Isaac, decline, and leave Sirs. I guess we'll join Isaac, I guess. His lips form something like a smile, and he nods slowly. A row of nuns dressed in the same robes as the flute player quickly follows and walks in uniform until they stop at Isaac's feet. Synapse. These robes are only brought out on holy days. Serpens, Eve, Founding, and the like. The one at the front, the youngest of the nuns, kneels down before Isaac and takes his frail hand in hers. They exchange a series of eager whispers. Isaac turns to the nun and speaks. Please prepare 2 rooms, one for me, one for my apostle. Sinew, why do I exist? Animus, is it too late to run? Synapse, I do not know. They may take control of our ship. You leave the port, walking a step behind Isaac, deeper into a bright, clean streets of the city of Surst. It's as though the entire city has paused to welcome you. From streets, windows, and balconies, wide eyes follow Isaac's every step until you arrive at the temple. A skyscraper of gold that reaches almost to the top of the glass atmosphere. The front doors open as your procession approaches. Isaac enters without looking back at you. You follow him into the darkness. Thanks for playing. The writer and designer can be reached at dctozier@gmail.com or dtozier.com. I didn't even know it was the dtozier.com. No AI was used in the making of this game. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good story. Nice story. Nice story. My only complaint is going in loops and not knowing where to go. Like, if there was... I know this is not a graphical, not a GUI game, but like if there was a little bit more nudging into like, you've already tried that or something. And then I would say like the direction, the map stuff, I know you're going for the green theme on the writing, but I would say like if the map stuff was purple, that would help me out a bit. But yeah, great story. Want to see where it goes in the future. I mean, this might be a one-off, but why not keep it going, expound upon the story. But like the atmosphere, there's a lot to like. And then just with me just actually sitting down and not trying to worry about saving it, it only took me 3 hours, right at 3.5 hours. That's a nice, good story. Escaped the planet and everything. Left that boy. I wanted to get that boy Desmond back, but I guess he was too knocked out, though. I guess we had to do it. But yeah, now I'm invested in the characters and everything, so yeah. Like I said, you can check out the game at play.textadventures.co.uk or get the link from adventurebymail.itch.io. I also wonder what would have happened if I wouldn't have followed Isaac. I should have went with that option, but yeah, interesting though. Interesting. Yeah, glad I finally knocked that out. I've been avoiding this for a long time. I tried playing a while back, but then I didn't get this far. And then I didn't understand the save system, but I can't believe I just knocked it all out though. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, alright, so yeah. Alright, looking forward to the next text adventure. by Daniel Tozieer. Yeah. Alright, till the next episode. Oyo Games, like, comment, subscribe, and holler back.